The Ferrari screamed once and then died. Under the bright afternoon sun, in the middle of a crowded luxury district, $1 million machine stood silent, refusing to obey. People gathered, phones out, whispers spreading, because this wasn't just any car, and she wasn't just any owner. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and hidden potential, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness 2.0, because stories like this deserve to be heard. Ariana Voss stood beside her glossy red Ferrari, her sunglasses hiding the frustration burning in her eyes. As the CEO of a global tech empire, she was used to control, precision, and immediate solutions. But today, under the unforgiving daylight, none of that mattered. Her car had failed her, and worse, every so-called expert she called had failed too. Within an hour, 3 certified engineers from the city's top automotive firms had arrived. Each one came with confidence, expensive tools, and polished reputations. And each one left with the same defeated expression. They ran diagnostics, checked the engine mapping, scanned the electronics, yet the Ferrari remained lifeless, like a stubborn beast refusing to wake. Ariana's patience began to crack. Time was money, and she was losing both. Meetings were being rescheduled, calls ignored, and her carefully planned day was collapsing. But more than that, something deeper unsettled her. The unfamiliar feeling of helplessness. The crowd around her grew thicker. Some admired the car, others whispered about her. A few even smirked, as if enjoying the rare sight of someone powerful being powerless. Ariana hated that feeling. She built her empire on never appearing weak. Just when she was about to call for the car to be towed, a voice, calm, almost hesitant, cut through the noise. It didn't sound polished or confident like the engineers. It sounded ordinary. From the edge of the crowd stepped a man in worn work clothes, his hands marked with grease and years of labor. His name was Elias Carter, though no one there knew it yet. He wasn't dressed for attention. He didn't carry expensive equipment. In fact, he looked like someone most people would overlook without a second thought. But his eyes didn't match his appearance. There was a quiet focus in them, a kind of understanding that didn't need to announce itself. Ariana barely glanced at him at first. She had already dealt with the best, and they had failed. What could someone like him possibly offer? Yet something about his presence lingered, calm in the chaos, steady in the noise. Elias didn't speak loudly. He didn't try to impress. He simply stepped closer to the car, observing it the way an artist studies a canvas. The engineers who had failed earlier exchanged dismissive looks. To them, he was nothing more than an amateur stepping into a problem far beyond his level. But Ariana hesitated, not because she believed in him, but because she had run out of options. She gave a small, reluctant nod. Elias approached the Ferrari slowly, running his fingers lightly along the surface, not with ownership, but with respect. He crouched down, listening carefully, as if the car was trying to tell him something no one else had heard. The crowd fell strangely quiet, curiosity replacing mockery. Minutes passed. No dramatic movements, no complicated tools, just silence, observation, and patience. Ariana checked her watch, her frustration rising again. This felt like a waste of time, another failure waiting to happen. But then something changed. Elias's expression shifted, just slightly, like someone who had just found the missing piece of a puzzle no one else could solve. He reached into his simple toolbox, pulled out a small, almost insignificant tool, and moved toward the engine. The air grew still. Because in that moment, no one knew whether they were about to witness another failure or something no one would ever forget. The moment Elias touched the engine, the atmosphere shifted. Not dramatically, not loudly, but in a way that made everyone hold their breath without realizing it. The sunlight reflected off the Ferrari's polished surface, casting sharp glows across his focused face. There was no rush in his movements, no sign of pressure, just quiet confidence, built from years no one in that crowd had seen. Ariana watched closely now. The same woman who had dismissed him minutes ago found herself unable to look away. Something about the way he worked felt different, not mechanical, but intuitive. Elias adjusted a small internal component, something the high-end engineers had overlooked while relying on their advanced diagnostic systems. He paused, listened again, and then made one final precise correction. For a second, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the Ferrari roared back to life. The sound cut through the air like thunder. The engine purred perfectly, smoother than before, as if it had been waiting for the right hands all along. The crowd erupted. Shock, applause, disbelief. Phones captured the moment, but no video could truly hold the emotion that filled the space. Ariana stood frozen. Not because her car was fixed, but because everything she believed in had just been challenged. All the expensive engineers, all the advanced systems had failed, and the one man she almost ignored had succeeded. Elias stepped back quietly, wiping his hands. There was no pride in his expression, no need for recognition. Just a simple nod, as if the job itself was enough. But for Ariana, it wasn't enough to just move on, not this time. She looked at him differently now, not as someone beneath her world, but as someone who understood something deeper than money or status. For the first time in a long time, she felt humbled. Before this story ends, take a moment and tell us, have you ever been underestimated or judged unfairly? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. Ariana stepped forward, her voice softer than before, her pride replaced with something more human. She realized that talent doesn't always come packaged in polished suits or expensive titles. Sometimes it comes in worn clothes, quiet voices, and unnoticed lives. That afternoon didn't just fix her Ferrari. It changed her perspective, because sometimes the world's greatest experts aren't the ones with the loudest credentials. They're the ones no one thought to trust. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness 2.0, because kindness, humility, and second chances still matter in this world.